Probably one of the best arcs in the Naruto series is the Chunin Exams, and it's everyone's favorite too. Mainly because these exams tell a lot about a young ninja's skill set and combat abilities that he or she has. However, it has become like a usual thing now that these exams are never concluded. They are always interrupted by someone like Orochimaru or some other individual, which is a good thing and many Naruto fans enjoy that. But have you ever been curious about the fact that what would have happened if these exams weren't actually interrupted by Orochimaru? What would have happened if we actually got to see a finale of the tournament and who would have been the winner of it? Well, if you are also wondering about all of these questions, then this video is for you. Watch it till the very end to find out. Every anime character appears to like a good competition, and Naruto fans are no exception. Since the start of the Chunin Exams, the series has grown to be one of the most popular forms of entertainment. But because of the large tournament interruption, people are left to speculate about what might have happened. So, first things first. Kishimoto, who's also the writer of the anime, revealed the outcome he had in mind for the Chunin Exams in a previous conversation while he was interviewed by a source. So, those of you who's dying to know had your wish granted. The lengthy interview has since been condensed by fans, and it was then that Kishimoto revealed his plans for the Chunin Exams. The tournament was supposed to end the same way it did in the anime, but there were a few complications which are being seen from translations. According to Kishimoto, he has always wanted Shikamaru Nara to triumph. The artist admitted that he was concerned about how to do that because the ninja would triumph thanks to his extraordinarily high IQ. It was challenging to devise a strategy that was clever enough for Nara, according to Kishimoto, who claimed he is not quite as intelligent as Shikamaru. So that's one thing that's clear here is that if the Chunin Exams weren't interrupted, this is what would have happened and we would have seen Shikamaru win. But Kishimoto didn't have to see the entire competition. He might have gotten advice by his editors or what, but Orochimaru needed to be introduced in order to heighten the stakes after Naruto quickly acquired popularity following the start of the Chunin Exams. The Chunin Exams would have to conclude early due to the debut, causing Shikamaru and everyone else to abandon the competition. Even though Shikamaru ultimately forfeited his bout against Temari, Kishimoto took advantage of the situation to give Shikamaru a field promotion to Chunin. But what about the other ninjas? For that, we'll have to make some assumptions here. So, the very first assumption is that if a slight change was introduced in the exams, the very first thing we would have seen would be Orochimaru himself. Now, Orochimaru needs to have a kind of body to fight every obstacle that comes its way. So, let's assume that his body expires a little quicker than it usually does. So in that case, Orochimaru would never attempt to interrupt the exams until his body is back to its original state. Now, how would he do that to get the new body? By using one of his prisoners' bodies. But that isn't something that happens quickly. Orochimaru needs to wait a little bit so that he gets used to his new body. So the first assumption that we can make here is the body of the Orochimaru that if he didn't have the body he usually has during the attack, he would never try to interrupt the Chunin Exams, and in that way we would have been able to see what it looked like actually. However, there are some other characters in the series who could have won if the exams weren't interrupted. One of the conditions that the third Hokage explains to the ninjas competing in the Chunin Exam when they reach the finals is that even though it's a competition, there's always a chance that more than one person could pass to become Chunin if they display the qualities they're looking for in a candidate. And while it was seen that no one really ended up winning because the exams did not really come to an end and Shikamaru was the only one who got the field promotion to Chunin, there were numerous others too who demonstrated outstanding ninja abilities and insight during the exams. Given that several other ninjas appear to have what it takes to advance through the ranks, it raises the question of whether the exams proctors made the appropriate decision on who actually passes. First, let's talk about Naruto, who is one of just two ninjas to have a duel in the Chunin Exams finals that they would actually finish and win. The other is Temari, who officially defeats Shikamaru because Shikamaru forfeited. Here, Naruto exhibits significant development as he demonstrates his command of the Shadow Clone technique in addition to his instinctive, on-the-spot rapid thinking which helps him defeat Neji, who erroneously underestimates him. And if the exams weren't interrupted by Orochimaru, it would have been the case that Naruto had actually come out even stronger. However, some people think that Chunin exams are more about team leadership than physical strength, and probably Naruto wasn't that great at it. But other than that, only 2 contestants actually get to play out their whole matches at the finals, as was already mentioned. After Kankuro gives up in order to be ready for the approaching invasion, Shino gets rid of his own. While Shino isn't given the opportunity to properly demonstrate his skills in combat outside of the preliminary bout that he won, he does face Kankuro during the invasion in an effort to stall him and spare Sasuke from having to face all 3 sand ninjas. Despite coming close to death, he manages to overcome him there, and his efforts deserve praise. Another fight that we would have witnessed the end is Ino's fight with Sakura. It is also one of the most spectacular and emotionally draining moments of the Chunin exams. Their brawl peaks at this point, replete with a summary of their problematic relationship. Beginning as friends and ending as rivals, and the 2 of them give each other an actual run for their money in the battle. They knock each other out and are disqualified from the finals, but if Ino had reached them and used her mind transfer jutsu, she might have won. Another addition that is to be made in the list is Kabuto. But it's also questionable how much of what he says during the exam is accurate. If he truly attempted it 4 times, it appears like he would have been able to finish it by this point. However, he demonstrates his wisdom and expertise by assisting Team 7 through the forest of death, and ultimately knows when to admit failure by walking out of the earlier rounds. He could have passed the exam and could get the rank of Chunin, but it seemed as if it was something too big for him to do. Another important fight that would have reached the end if it wasn't interrupted was Sasuke's and Gaara's. He was doing an excellent job at removing Gaara's defenses before the interruption occurs, with Gaara's mental state failing as he begins to use Shukaku's strength. The significant progress and newly taught Chidori are cause enough to contemplate Sasuke's elevation to the Chunin level, especially since he take it upon himself to follow Gaara from the arena, knowing it will be critical to the village's protection. It's simple to argue that Sasuke was about to win the arena fight and hence would easily defeat Gaara. Baki, on the other hand, views Gaara an idiot for attempting to transform into the One-Tails before the signal was given, hiding in his sandball, making him an unmoved target and unable to react quickly enough. If the attack on the village had not occurred, perhaps he would have been more aggressive or dynamic, in which case we believe he would have triumphed in the long run. However, Sasuke is likely to win, but then again the fight was interrupted and couldn't really see the end. And many also believe that Temari would have lost his final fight, whether it's with Naruto, Sasuke, or Gaara. We've already seen Sasuke bash her while tracking Gaara, and she's undoubtedly afraid of Gaara. Naruto could likely beat her, but the only difficulty would be getting near enough to beat her in taijutsu. However, all of this couldn't happen because of the invasion done by Orochimaru at the very last moment. And that's pretty much it. Let us know in the comments what you think about this. If you've enjoyed everything so far, then give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn the notification bell on so that good anime content never passes you by. Thanks for watching the video and see you in the next one.